All right. Now, in this section, we will work on our obstacles and we will add more obstacles because right now we only have those boxes, which are obviously fine, but we need something more. So let's open our platformer starter pack that we have and let's find if we have something in the environment. I believe we do. So, what we have here? Um, we have few things that we can use. For example, this one can be used. I want something that will move, something like moving obstacle. We can use this one, but let me see what else is there. Okay, let's use this one. Let's drop it in the scene. Let's click F to zoom in. I will unpack it. Right click on it, prefab, unpack completely first of all. Okay, so it has blade components and this border component. We obviously need to work on this blade and we should make this blade to actually move left and right, and also probably we need to rotate it as well. Okay, so let's rotate this prop on the 90 degrees on the Y, 90. Let me see how it, I think it's a little bit too small for our game, for our world. Let's try to resize it. Okay, maybe I did, it's too large now. I will just take it forward. No, I think it has good size. So I will place it here. What I will do, let's rename it to be, mm, I don't know, spinning blade. Yep, spinning blade. And I will take this blade component, let's rename it to be blade. So I will take this blade component and I will place it right here. And this will be our blade starting point. Now what we need to do? Well, we need to move blade just like this. And when I do it, the Z position is changing as I see. And let me just try one more thing quickly. Yep. Let's play 0, 0, 0, 0 and 90. Okay. All right. So as I said, we need to change. We need to move this blade on the Z, and also we need to rotate our blade. Let me select blade, just like so, on the X. You see our X rotation is moving, so we need to move it on Z and rotate it on X. By default, I will make 0 and 0 on these rotations. Now let's go and create script. Also we will need to have collider to this blade, so let's add some collider. Let's add mesh collider. I will activate convex, and I will activate this trigger because we want to damage our player with this blade. So it means that we can add damage player script there, and we need to drop explosion effect there. Let's do it, not to forget later. So I will select blade and I will drop explosion effect here. Okay. Now let's go and create script. And let's call this one spinning blade very simply. Now I will assign this spinning blade into this blade game object because it should move, and let's drag and drop. Now the way we will handle our movement, we will have 2 points, point A and point B, and we will make our blade to move between those 2 points. As a point A, we will take our blade starting current position, and to make everything correctly, what we can do, we can duplicate this blade with the Control and D. Let's take it out of the spinning blade. I will not change position or anything. I will just rename it point A. And this point A, we only need to have transform components, so we can remove everything. Everything else, just remove them. Remove, and scripts as well. We only need this transform component. And now I will duplicate this point A, and I will rename it point B. And I will just take point B and place it somewhere here. Okay, so we have point A and we have point B. Now let's open our spinning blade script and let's create few variables. We need reference for our points, so public transform point A, comma, point B. Also, we need to create integer for the speed, so public int speed. And we also need to create one three-dimensional point, which will act like our current target at the specific moment. So let's create private vector3 current target. So vector3 is three-dimensional point. Also, we need to rotate our blade. So I will say public int, and let's call this one rotate speed. By default, I will just make it 100. Okay, if something we can always change later. Now in the update, what we can do, we can say simple logic. If transform dot position, which means our blade's position, double equals to our point A dot position. So if we are at point A, our current target should become point B. So we will say current target equals point B dot position and semicolon. Right? And now let's add else if statement. If transform dot position double equals point B dot position. So if we are at point B, our current target will become point A dot position and semicolon at the end. Now that we set up our current target, we can use Unity's method, which is vector3.moveTowards method, which allows you to move game objects between points, in this case between 2 points. For that, we will take our position, which is transform.position, equals, as I said, we will use vector3.moveTowards method, and this move toward method needs to have few parameters. As a starting point, we will take transform.position. Then we need to have our current target. So we will pass current target, and then we can have some speed multiplied to time dot, oh, what I did? Speed multiplied to time dot delta time and semicolon. Now this will allow us to move our game object between 2 points, but we also need to rotate our game object on the X, as you remember. So we can say transform dot rotate. It's very simple. We just need to, for the X, we will pass our rotate speed. We'll multiply it to time dot delta time, because we need to change X. For the Y and Z, we can say 0f, 0f, because we don't care about Y and we don't care about Z. And that's pretty much it. Everything that you need to create some kind of moving obstacles. Let's go back. Let's see how it looks. So I will select blade, and we should drop our point A and point B here. As a speed, I don't know what speed to have. Let's try 3. Let's hit play. So I will go in scene view, and here we go. We have moving blade. and I will check if it's able to damage our player very shortly. But everything is working fine. Obviously, we can change rotation speed if we want, so it will rotate even faster. We can change speed also. Maybe we want it to move a little bit faster, you know. But main point is that everything is working fine. So I will just make sure that uh, it's able to damage our player. So let's go and let's see. Yep, it's able to damage our player. Very nice. Everything is working fine. So what you can do, you can basically duplicate, take the spinning blade, duplicate it, and place it somewhere else. Just remember to create this point A and point B for it with the same method as we did just now. All right. So next thing, that let's add one more obstacle. I found, I have seen something interesting. So let's go, and this one, let me just drag it in the scene. Okay. This also has two components, which is nice. Let's unpack it. Prefab, unpack completely. Let's resize it quickly. 3 by 3 by 3. What we can do, we can basically take these props, which is child, and let's call this one spikes, and these props, I will just call it obstacle spike. Okay, so these spikes can move up and down. We will make it move well up and down. I think it's common mechanic and it's not hard to implement. I will show you how. And well, obviously the spike needs to have collider. So again, let's add mesh collider, convex, trigger, uh, and also let's add damage player script to be able to damage. Let's again drop explosion effects, spikes, and I will drop explosion effect here. And now let's create another script for this spike. So let's create script, and let's call this one obstacle spike, very simply. Let it compile. We will assign it to our spikes. Let's drop it inside the spikes. Okay, and let's double click to open in Visual Studio. Now what we need here, well, we will need to have variable for the distance, for the amount of distance, maximum amount of distance that this spike should travel up and down. So let's create variable public float, and let's call this one move distance. By default, I will make it 1f. Also, we need to have speed, public float speed. By default, let's make it 2f, for example. And also we need to have starting position, so I will say private vector free start pause. Okay, so when the game starts, we want our start pause to be equal to transform dot position. So our starting point will be point that we will be when the game starts. All right, so after that, in the update, what we can do, well, we know that in order to move these spikes, we need up and down movement. And when we move up and down, this Y position is changing. So we need to change this Y position. For that, I will create float with the name Y offset. And what we can do, we can use Unity's one of the methods, which is mathf.pingpong. So let's say mathf.pingpong. So what is this ping pong method? Basically, this ping pong, well, as if we hover over, you will see the little explanation, but basically with the ping pong method we can travel some distance in some time with some speed. So we can travel some maximum distance, move distance with some speed in some time. To set up everything correctly, we can say time dot time, which is time, multiplied to speed, which is our speed, and multiplied to our move distance. Okay, so um, well, actually, we don't need to multiply it now that I'm thinking. We need to place comma and move distance because it's other parameter. Time dot time time speed will be enough, and as a second parameter, we will use move distance. Okay. After that, what we can do, we can take our position, which is transform dot position. Obviously, we can take our start pose, which is our starting point. We can add some direction with a plus, and as a direction, we can add vector free dot up because we want up movement, and we can multiply it to our y offset, which we just created. That's pretty much it. It will allow us to move our game object. Obviously there are other methods how we could do it. We could use same mechanics as we did with the moving platform, uh, not moving platform with the spinning blade, but I just wanted to show you different methods, and this ping pong is another method. All right, anyway, as a starting point, I'll just take it down so it will be hidden from the scene, just like so. And well, basically, let's hit play and let's test. I will go in scene view. And here we go. It moves. We can obviously change speed if it's too fast, and it will be slow. And we can increase move distance as well. Yeah, I think 1.5 is fine. So 1.5 and speed, let's make it 1.5. Well, those numbers are really up to you. And now let's test if it's able to damage our player. Let's go. Let's pick up our score. And yep, it's able to damage us. We just got damaged. Very nice. So it means that everything is working. Now you can duplicate this obstacle spike and place them in your map a few times. You can also use other obstacles which you might find here. It's up to you. You can use this one. You can even make it move if you want with the same exact mechanic as we did with the spinning blade. All right. Uh, you can use those props and stuff like that. Just make sure that they have colliders which are triggered and they have damage player script, so that they will be able to damage our player. So here we go. Let's save this scene.